Okay? Ovaries or some other organs of the body in the human beings, and look at the phases of the life. Okay? First of all, for the ovaries, okay? Look, ovaries and the estrogens, where are they coming from? Ovaries, okay? We have already talked about that, okay? Follicle, corpus luteum. Did we talk about that? All right, okay. Second thing, please. Adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex. That is also giving you a little amount of estrogen, because metabolism is going on and different hormones are formed in the adrenal cortex, male and female hormones. Second source is adrenal cortex. The third source is placenta. Oh, now this is about pregnancy, okay? A phasic period, specific period which is possible in the life of the female, okay? All right. Now come to the males. Forget about females, okay? We have estrogens. Question is males, estrogens. Why? Adrenal cortex, okay, and testis, okay, both. Little amount from the adrenal cortex, okay, definitely, both males and females, and some amount definitely coming from the male testis. All of us are producing estrogens. Why are we producing estrogens? What is it doing? How is it helping us? We'll talk about the function, okay? But these are the possible sources of estrogens in the, well, some of the estrogens are also formed in fatty tissues, okay, in fats, adipose tissues, because one of the enzymes called aromatase is present there also. In one phase of the female life, okay, it becomes important, and the adipose tissues, they also form some amount of estrogen, which is not written here, okay, but it is there, yeah, and liver also, and some other organs in a minor amount also, and this final process is called aromatization, okay, because you are forming it usually by aromatase, all right? Exactly, different tissues are there. Now look at this slide, sites of synthesis. Liver, muscles, adipose tissue, and even brain. Wherever this enzyme aromatase is present, that is capable of producing some amount of estrogen, okay? Don't forget that. So apart from the major organs which are producing, which we mentioned in the slide here, okay, also in females and sometimes in males also, adipose tissue, liver and brain can form some amounts of the estrogens. Please keep it in mind. All right. Look at the progesterone now, please. Progesterone, okay, coming from corpus luteum, number one. In which phase of the life? In the female reproductive life, okay, when she is reproductively active, and that is premenopausal, before menopause. Are you familiar with the words menopause and menarche? Are you familiar? Great, if you know the words, that's very fine. Adrenal cortex, please, okay, again, like males, both are producing, male, female, both are producing progesterone, okay. Pre and post menopausal females and also males are producing some amount of progesterone. Progesterone is the hormone which is modular in between in the pathway, you have seen that. So it is definitely progesterone in little amounts which is there. Placenta, yes, placenta in pregnancy is giving you progesterone, a very good amount, very important hormone, we'll talk about that. And testis in males, very little amount of progesterone is coming. Estrogen is more important. What is progesterone doing in the testis? We have no idea, we are not sure about that. The function of estrogen is known for the males. For the progesterone, we are not sure about that. We'll see, inshallah. Look at the types, please. Okay, E1, E2 and E3. The main, qualitatively and quantitatively the most important estrogen in the female life after menarche, after she starts the cycles, okay, to the menopause when she's active. This, which one is that? E2, the most important, most functional, most practical, most powerful, everything, quality, quantity, the best thing is, okay, others are also موجود, I'm not saying that, but the most important definitely is E2. After menopause, when the female starts another phase of life and she stops producing ova or ovulation does not happen, then it changes overall, okay? And which one is now the more important? E1. Estrone, the ketone one? Yes, okay. When the female is still in the reproductive life, but she is having pregnancy, at that time, which becomes most important? Yeah, yeah. E3 is the most important, even though others are also present, but E3 is the most abundant in quantity, okay? So we have decided, in normal life of the female, adult life, which are E2. In a special phase of pregnancy, E3. And after menopause, it's okay. Look at the potency, okay? The power in terms of quantity, the action it can produce in terms of a quantity, okay? You have the same amount of, same quantity of E1, E2 and E3. And they are going to the body. And they are acting on the tissues of the body. Same amount, little amount, same amount. Which one will have the best action and the most important, most powerful actions? E2. It means out of all the three, which one is the most powerful? So the potency of which one of the hormones is the highest one? E2. Or the most potent out of these three is E2. Okay, the same quantity but more powerful action. After E2, which is the second one in potency? And finally, yeah. Okay, so keep the quantity and the quality. This is now telling you the quality and the potency, that qualitatively in the action, which one is the most powerful? It is E2. Okay, so overall in the female life, if you consider, take an average, E2 is the most powerful hormone, estrogen, moujud in the body. Okay, don't forget that. Very quickly go through that. We are not stopping here. Okay, steroid hormones, others like this one also, okay, they are bound, strongly bound to the proteins, okay. Almost all of it is bound to the protein. 98% binding goes with the proteins, and you have got albumins and the globulins which are binding, okay. Albumins are binding, but the globulins are also there. Quantitatively, albumins are more, but gonadal steroid binding globulin are also in good quantity. Together, 98%. Free amount, functional amount is very little, it's only 2%, okay. Very quickly look at the mechanism of the action. Steroid hormones coming from the lipids. Cholesterol is a lipid, yes or no? Yes. If it's a lipid, then through the lipid membrane, can this hormone pass easily? Yes, it will not stop on the surface. It has no membrane receptors quantitatively. I'm not saying that membrane receptors are not possible for this hormone. Now we have discovered some membrane receptors also, I'll tell about that, but major action of this hormone should come through somewhere inside. Will it go to the nucleus or will it stop in the cytoplasm? What do you think? It will go to the nucleus via cytoplasm, awwal in cytoplasm and then into the nucleus, okay. So first it comes into, crosses the cell membrane easily, enters into the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, stakbal is done by a special protein, okay. You will not really call it a receptor, you will call it a receiving protein actually, okay. Change the word. Receptors are moujud inside the nucleus, markaz, okay. Only a receiving protein, okay, who will welcome it and attach with it and take it to the nucleus inside, okay. These special proteins are called the heat shock proteins, HSPs actually, okay. They simply take it, they guard it, they cover it, okay, so that anyone cannot harm or injure, okay, for the protection purpose basically, all right. And then they take it into the nucleus and then they leave it inside the nucleus. The hormone will go to the receptor and attach to the receptor inside the nucleus, okay. This is the way actually it is happening. The diagram is not completely depicting the story, if you see, okay. The diagram is telling you the practical function, that somehow what is happening? It is going through the cytoplasm and it is going into the, do you see something like this one? Yes. Okay, this is the steroid hormone, okay. What is this? The protective protein, okay. This protein is called chaperonin or HSP, chaperonin protein, all right. Yeah, heat shock protein, HSP, or chaperonin you call it. These chaperones or the chaperonins, they attach, they cover, and they take it into the nucleus and they leave it, and they come out actually to take more. Okay, so they're meant for istiqbal actually, and to take care of and to transport them. They're basically the transporters, transport proteins to the inside. Okay, after that, it binds to its acyl receptor, which is present on the DNA molecule. Okay, yeah, it attaches, and then there is a story, a complete story, after which you will see that it will stimulate the DNA. The DNA will form the messenger RNA. The messenger RNA will come out of the nucleus. The messenger RNA will go to the ribosomes and give the message, and the message is translated, and finally new proteins are formed. Okay, so this is the mechanism of action of the steroid hormones. Same is the case with estrogen. Okay, so coming to the nucleus in a special way and stimulating the DNA synthesis, mRNA, and protein formation in the cytoplasm. Okay, I was discussing one more thing in the beginning of the mechanism of action. I said that now a jadid concept says that there is also a membrane action. Okay, there are some special glycoprotein receptors mawjood on the membrane, and estrogen, some of the estrogen combines with those. Now what could be the function of those? Okay, that's interesting. We'll talk about that, but let me tell you one thing. You tell me one thing. You are going into the cytoplasm, then you are attaching with a protein, you are going into the Merkaz, you are attaching to the DNA, and DNA stimulation, a messenger RNA formation, coming out, protein synthesis. Will it happen in 1 second or few seconds, or will it take some time? Oh, it takes hours, hours and hours for this action before new proteins are formed, isn't it? So this action is a rapid action or a slow action? Oh, definitely. So steroids generally have a slow action. If I give you a steroid injection, it will not start working in 1 minute. It will take time. Your first actions will be seen after few hours at least, and days really. Okay, so it takes time. But if a hormone is coming and stimulating the membrane directly, stimulating membrane, and then after that, will you have a quick action or an action with takhir really? What do you think? A quick action. So if I divide the actions of estrogen into two groups, slow actions and the rapid actions, which one will be the slow actions? Nuclear actions through the DNA. Which one will be the rapid action, very quick actions? Occurring in seconds to minutes really. Okay, these are the membrane actions. Okay, they have just been discovered only 10-15 years back. Before that, we did not know about those actions. But now, some minor actions of estrogens are coming through the cell membrane actions. Okay, so mainly, if you don't mention these rapid actions, it does not matter. Okay, but the most important actions of estrogen are coming through the nucleus actually. Okay, so keep in mind the jadid actions also. They are very interesting. I'll talk about that, but they are not the main actions. Yes.
So the overall action is
slow. Overall action slow. Generally speaking, the most important effects of estrogen, they will come slowly. All the practical functions, all the major actions, they are happening through the nucleus actually. They will not be starting in few seconds. Okay. All right. If I say one more word, there are two types of actions of estrogens. One group of actions is called the genomic actions, and the second group is called the non-genomic actions. Which one are the genomic actions? Slow or fast? Slow. And what are the non-genomic actions? Through the membrane. Okay, so the word non-genomic, yani outside the nucleus. Genomic means because of the nucleus. All right, you get? All right, okay. Non-genomic action through the second messenger, G protein, and these actions will give you some very special effects. I'll talk about that later. Okay. Quickly, 1 or 2 words about the metabolism of the estrogens which are happening. Okay. They are metabolized mainly in the liver, and then conjugation with the glucuronic acid, glucuronide formation, and urine is the final way of excreting them. Some of it, the metabolites are also coming in the bile, and from the bile they are going out in the feces. But the main route of excretion is urine, please, metabolites. So urine and feces both. Okay. Glucuronidation is the conjugation reaction that is most important for the estrogens. For proteins, for progesterones also, it's kind of similar really. You are having glucuronidation and you are having mainly the urinary excretion which is going for the estrogens. Now, very quickly, this is the point of discussion now. Okay, be careful now. We have talked about some biochemical aspects of it, starting from the structure, classifying hormones. We talked about the structure functional relationships, that which group if you remove will increase the activity, or which group will you remove which will decrease the activity. We talked about that also. Okay, we talked about the transport, we talked about metabolism, we talked about the mechanism of action also. So we have covered some of the biochemical aspects of the hormone. All right, now very quickly, the main practical physiological and clinical discussion I'm starting right now, and this discussion is about physiology, estrogen and progesterone. Very quickly, estrogens please. I'm taking estrogens first. Keep it in mind, very important, very interesting hormones. Obviously I'm considering female first, I'm not talking about the males. Very little action in males, yet very important action. Okay, but it will come in the end. Estrogens in females, first of all, the action of estrogens, when do you think they start in the life of the female? Puberty. Puberty. Okay, any other possibility? What do you mean by before that? From birth. Any other possibility? Prenatal also, before birth. Okay. Qabla al-wilada also, yeah, okay. It means in the fetal life, the estrogen from the mothers can have some effect on the fetal growth, okay, fetal growth. And I'll talk about this action in the pregnancy issue. There is another lecture of the pregnancy physiology, I'll take that. What is the role of estrogen in the pregnancy? What is estrogen doing to the fetus? Is that estrogen coming from mother, or is that estrogen coming from the fetus? Or both? We'll talk about that later, but I'll keep that for pregnancy discussion. It means the actions of estrogen start before birth time, okay, in a female or in a fetus, I'll say right now. Okay. Now, Badal Vilada, after birth, now let's decide when does the action begin? Puberty. Puberty is the right time when you start the sexual maturity in a female. A process starts, the beginning of the adulthood. Now you require the estrogens, okay. At the time of puberty, females develop some changes. These changes are called the secondary sexual characteristics, okay. We also have the same characteristics, but these are called male secondary sexual characteristics. Females have their own characteristics. You know how a girl changes into a woman really, or a lady, okay, by developing some features, some physical features, some other psychological features, and overall package is secondary sexual characteristics. Okay. What do you think at the time of puberty, what will happen? What can estrogen do to a female? Think about the female genital tract first of all, the female system, genital system. You know the anatomy of the female genital system. You know the different parts of it, right? My question is, what do you think? All right, in the female genital system, okay, yes, you can start with external genitalia and internal genitalia. I am talking about both external visible parts and internal system, the whole tract, okay. What kind of changes do you think should happen in a female? All right, you say the system starts ovulation, and with ovulation, how do you know ovulation is happening? By menstruation actually, okay. The only evidence outside is, okay, the shahada which is you are getting is menstruation, the bleeding. Otherwise you don't know ovulation is happening or not happening, isn't it? So, all right, this is one thing. What else? Okay, external genitalia is saying that pubic hairs appear in the pubic region and over the external genitalia. Okay, all right, this is one of the other characteristics. What else? Redistribution of fat. Redistribution of fat. Okay, all right, that is a very, very important way, but still in the genital tract, what will happen to the, I am coming to this point, okay Abdullah, I am coming to you. But before that, I am talking about the female genital tract right now. Enlargement, okay? Enlargement of the ovaries, enlargement of the uterus, enlargement of all the other parts, vagina, cervix, all system enlarges because she is growing up. So there is a proportionate increase in the size of the organs. Very good point, okay? This is one thing which is changing. The size has become adult size. The uterus, the ovaries, the whole tract, the vagina, everything. What else can happen at that time because of estrogen? The functionally you say ovulation will start. I agree with you. What else? Gland secretion will become very functional, effective, and maximum, very nice. The glandular secretions. What else? You're right. Lubrications and gland secretion. What else? Histologically, what can happen? I think you have done it. Yeah, please. Yeah, I heard the word, please. Yeah, say it loudly. I heard the word.
Yeah, the cartilage
Mm-hmm.
end of elongation.
Okay. I'll keep that also for other actions, okay? But in the female genital tract, what happens histologically? Female genital tract, stay here. Yeah, every month there will be some changes in the uterus also, okay? Endometrial cycle, definitely. Yeah, okay? We'll talk about it. Shedding is not due to estrogen. I'm talking about the estrogen action, okay? Shedding happens, but it is when estrogen is decreased, gone. When it is not there, then, okay? Yeah, anything else which is changing? A girl is now growing, okay, from the age of 11, 12 years. Now she is becoming adult at the age of 13, 14 years. What change histologically happens in the lining of the tract? Come on. Okay, the secretions will change, definitely. What changes histologically are there in the lining epithelium? Lining epithelium, I am giving you the key word, come on. I have given you the word. Maturation. When you say maturation, what do you mean by maturation? Why do you need maturation? Why do you need maturation? Why do you need thickening of epithelium? Okay, all right. Think logically first of all. A girl is changing into an adult lady, okay? First of all, there is a change in epithelium. Why is epithelium changing? What will be the purpose of change? It is becoming more resistant. Pregnancy. Epithelium is not changing in the uterus, my dear. It's changing in the vagina. Now you tell me. Intercourse, sexual, you are preparing for the reproductive life or the adult life. Pregnancy will come after the process of the intercourse, isn't it? Intercourse is a mechanical process, yes or no? When it is a mechanical process, that area is subjected to damage or stress, isn't it? Okay? When there are chances of damage or stress, that organ or that area has to be very strong, isn't it? Strong in the sense that it should not be damaged every time with that mechanical resistance. Logical thinking, isn't it? If it is there, epithelium should be a simple epithelium or a stratified epithelium? Stratified. So what change is happening from the girl to a lady at the time of puberty? The simple cuboidal epithelium is changing into stratified squamous epithelium. Why is it changing to stratified squamous epithelium? To support and to hold on the process of the sexual intercourse and to fight against the bacterial infections because it is open to outside also, isn't it? If only a wahid layer of epithelium is mawjood, it will be damaged, isn't it? If there are multiple layers, then it is protection. Protection, mechanical protection against the barrier and against the bacteria, organisms, any other damage. That's why it's logical change which is happening, isn't it? So that is a very, very important change by estrogen. It changes the simple cuboidal epithelium to stratified squamous epithelium. Okay? The pH of the vagina becomes acidic at that time, about 5 or less than 5, 4.5 to 5. Why the pH becomes acidic? What is the advantage? To fight against the infection. Bacteria cannot grow easily really, okay? That's why. Otherwise, females would have all the time infections of the female genital tract.
For the semen, right?
For
the semen.
For the semen is not causing any harm. Semen is good in the sense that it has an alkaline pH, okay? So that is, but the semen contains the spermatozoa sperms. Sperms have to go through that acidic medium. If the pH of semen is not alkaline, imagine what will happen? They will die simply like bacteria. Okay? But alhamdulillah, what is the nature's settlement for that? When semen is coming along with all the weapons. All the weapons means the alkaline pH. When the alkaline pH mixes with the acidic pH at that time, what happens? Neutralization. And all the soldiers can go very easily and they can cross and they can straight away go to the fort and they go and traverse all the way and cause fertilization, okay? So these are very special attributes to the estrogen. This is about the female genital tract, okay? It brings the changes, all the changes which are needed, one thing, okay? Now leave the female genital tract. Abdullah, I am coming to your point. You said redistribution of the fat. Can you tell me what do you mean by that?
I mean, increase the accumulation of fat around the hip and the second vertebrae.
All right, all right. Yes, okay. It's a special and new distribution of the fat which is happening. A female is a female. You can identify the female from her contours or from outside, okay? Because of the growth of the breast, number one, because of the fat deposition, especially in the hip region and the thigh region, different from the males, generally speaking, okay? So all these contours of the body are developed by the fat distribution, and that is coming mainly from estrogen. Progesterone is also helping, but mainly from estrogen. Very good. This is one of the most important sexual characteristics that we can recognize, okay? You're saying about the bones, something about the bones. Okay. Well, estrogens are stimulating the epiphyseal plate, which is causing the elongation of the bone. The toll of our bone, long bones, is due to epiphyseal plate when we are becoming tall at that time. Okay? Now we are not becoming tall. We have stopped. Why? Because there is no epiphyseal plate. It's gone. Fusion. Okay? Epiphyseal closure. Estrogen has the capability of stimulating the epiphyseal plate and quickly dividing of the cells and laying down bone and growing it really, okay? So the tool of the bone increases. A girl very quickly elongates at the time of puberty and she grows up very quickly, but at the same time she stops also very quickly, okay? Starts very quickly and stops very quickly and attains the height. Males, they start slowly at the age of 13, 14 years and they go slowly and they stop with ta'khir. By the age of 17 or 18 years, they keep growing really, okay? But females grow much earlier and they start earlier and they grow earlier. They stop earlier also. So estrogens first stimulate the epiphyseal plate and then they cause quick closure of the epiphyseal plate and fusion also. This is their action. So they stimulate the bone growth, definitely. Okay, what else do you think about estrogens regarding the breast? Now we are coming to the breast. Yeah. Do they cause the development of the breast? Yes or no? Yes, okay. Fat deposition was one action. Abdullah has mentioned, okay. All right, what else is happening in the breast? What do you think?
Formation of glands.
Formation, okay. Let's hold on. All right. I'll give you the parts, okay? Spare parts. And now you tell me which parts I am talking about which are stimulated by estrogen, okay? Well, there is a system of stroma, okay? Supporting structure, connective tissue, okay? All right? And there is parenchyma, the glands, okay? And it also have the ducts of the glands, all right? And then it has the fats which is present between the stroma and parenchyma, Okay, out of these components I have given you fats, I have given you the stroma, the architecture, the basic supporting tissue, connective tissue. I have given you the ducts of the glands, and I have given you the secreting part of the glands. Okay, I have given you the choices. Now tell me, estrogens are acting on which parts? What do you think out of that? Number one, fats, because logically we have covered the fats. So the first answer should come in the form of fats. Fat deposition. Okay, what else? Secretory glands means you're saying which secrete, basically. Okay, ducts, glands, and stroma is left now. Now what do you say?